on the saxophone. So hopefully you're getting a sound out of your saxophone just by not pressing any keys, but just by blowing. So now we're going to look at some actual notes, although that is actually a note. That first note is a C sharp, but don't worry about that for the minute. So we're going to look at some other notes. So with your thumb under the thumb rest at the back and your left thumb on the thumb rest at the back there, put your first finger on the first pearl key. So you've got your first finger of your left hand on that first pearl key, and just press that down and then just blow. So that's the first note on the sheet, and it's the note B. So B is on the middle of the 5 lines. So we've got 5 lines that we write the music on called the stave, and the middle line is for that note B. And the first note on the piece is a circle that's not filled in, which lasts for 4 beats. And our beat is whatever we choose it to be. So if that's our beat, that first note be 1, 2, 3, 4. So you hold it for 4 beats. Then after that there's a little box hanging from the line which represents 4 beats of silence. So we'll play 4 beats on B, hold it for 4 beats, 4 beats of silence, which gives us a chance to take a breath, and then we're going to play the next note, which is an A, which is the first finger on the first pearl and the second finger on the second pearl. I say it's pearl, it's probably plastic actually, but they used to be made out of pearl. So first and second finger. So we're going to do 4 beats on B, 4 beats to rest, to take a breath, and then 4 beats on A. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, breathe. I'll just do that again. So I'm counting myself in, taking a breath on 4, playing the note, holding it for 4, resting for 4, taking a breath on the 4th beat, and then playing another 4-beat note. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And then we get the next note, which is going to be G. So we've got B, which is the first finger, A, which is the first and the second finger, and G, which is first, second, and third finger. Same thing. There's another rest before we play the G, 4-beat rest, and then we play the G. So now I'll play the whole thing for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So that's the first line where we learn those first 3 notes, B, A, and G. And we've been holding them for 4 beats, which is a semi-breve, and then resting for a semi-breve rest, which is 4 beats. Okay, the next bit is where we now play notes that last for 2 beats, which are called minims. It's the same 3 notes, but what I've done is I've just got you to repeat each note 3 times. So I'll just play the piece so you can hear, and try and follow it as I play it. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the beat, and each note lasts for 2 beats. And then there's a 2-beat rest after the third of each group of notes, which is called a minim rest. So it's 3 notes lasting 2 beats each, 1 rest lasting 2 beats, then the next note, same thing, and then the next note. So let me just play that again, try and follow it as I play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you remember we talked about tonguing the note? So the way to separate the notes is to tongue each note, as I explained in the first lesson. So I'll just remind you that that's how we're starting each note, is tonguing the note. So I use 1 breath for all 3 notes, but I use my tongue to separate it into 3 notes. So let me just demonstrate again. So I breathe in, breathe, breathe in. Good. And then the next bit is where we go to notes that are last 1 beat each, which are called crotchets. So you get 3 crotchet notes and then a crotchet rest, which is the little squiggly thing. That is a crotchet rest. So we go 3 B's, rest, 3 A's, rest, 3 G's. Okay, so let me just demonstrate that. Take that a little bit slower, so we can choose how fast our beat is. So I'm going to just take it down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, remember trying to use 1 breath for each group of 3 notes. You might in fact be able to do the whole piece on 1 breath, but use your tongue to separate the notes. So let me just demonstrate that again. So take a breath, breathe in, 3, 4. Good, so that takes us on to our first piece, our actual piece, which is Merrily We Roll Along. Sometimes people call it Mary Had a Little Lamb, but it's Merrily We Roll Along. And it goes, I'll just play the piece so you can hear it, see if you can follow it on the music. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's all crotchets, apart from the very last note, which is a semi-breve. So remember, crotchets are 1 beat notes, semi-breve is a 4 beat note. So if you look at the music, you'll see that. And then we've got some crotchet rests as well. You might also notice, if you look at the music, that the first and the second bar, which is the music between the vertical bar lines, is the same as bars 5 and 6. So the first bit is this. And that's exactly the same as the 5th and 6th bars. The 3rd and 4th bars does this. But the last 2 bars, bar 7 and 8, do this. So that means there's slightly less to learn than actually appears on the page. As I say, bars 1 and 2 are the same as bars 5 and 6. And again, it's a good exercise for tonguing because all the notes need to be tongued. You can breathe in those crotchet rests at the end of bar 2 and the end of bar 4 and the end of bar 6 is a good place to breathe. But try and do all the notes that are together on 1 breath and just use your tongue to separate them. So let me just demonstrate the piece again. So I'll count myself in. 1, 2, 3.